That being said, let's wind down. I got this. I wanted to check this out. I got clickbaited. Sunny V2 put up this like child celebrities who have terrible lives now video, and like the thumbnail is let me see if I can. The thumbnail is the freaking this chick, which I used to watch Lazy Town, so I'm super surprised about this. I was a big fan of Lazy Town actually. The puppets were creepy, but it was very meme-worthy. Okay, let's check this out, my dudes. I want to see this. Normal. I saw you put up a so it was a really it's a metal cover of the Sally Face song, which is awesome. I'm wondering if I should do it this stream or save it for Friday when we do more Sally Face. I think that would be dope.
This video will cover 6 child stars who had a terrible life after fame. And
we're gonna begin by talking. Is this the whole list?
Will cover 6.
Is that Lindsay Lohan? I'm so bad at faces. I gotta think.
Child star.
Weren't you was he the friend from Miley Cyrus? No.
Who had
I can't remember. Dorothy?
Terrible life after.
I don't know the actress. I just know that that's from friggin' that's Drake from Drake and Josh. The Terminator kid.
Begin by talking about Jake.
Lloyd? I don't know why I thought this was Hayden Christensen. I genuinely have no idea why I always assumed this was Hayden Christensen as a boy. Which makes no sense. But I just realized that I never really connected the fact that it was a different actor altogether for the child actor. I guess I just... stop talking about the pie. I'm so scared. Oh, okay. Well, that's the... Look, you want me to stop talking about the pie, but you're scared. The solution to you being scared is the pie. I mean, I don't know what other advice to give you here.
Anakin Skywalker
have you offered Freddy some pie? Maybe he'll stop staring at you all menacingly.
3,000 potential candidates and would perform so well in the billion-dollar movie that he won the best performance in a feature film for an actor under the age of 10. While this might have implied that Jake had a promising film career,
I wonder, how would you compare that to, oh goodness, what's his name? What's the dude? I lost it. I had a train of thought. I lost it. What's the guy from Home Alone? I want to compare the stats to the Home Alone kid.
Star Wars before announcing his acting retirement at the age of 12, explaining that he was bullied heavily as a result of the role. My entire school life was really a living hell, and I had to do up to 60 interviews a day. Other children were really mean to me. They would make the sound of the lightsaber every time they saw me. With this kind of harassment,
I can 100% understand that. I think the only way to, like, get past that is to, like, some of the best voice actors that I've seen, like, what's his name? The guy who does Archer. He talks about how, like, he can't even walk out in public without people just screaming, "Danger Zone!" at him.
Even continuing into Jake's high school and college experience.
I think you literally just have to own it. Just own it and make it your thing. Oh, Jim, Macaulay Culkin. There you go. I got you. I understand. I think you messed that up, but yeah, Macaulay Culkin. I saw you wrote Cole, and I'm like, yeah, Macaulay Culkin. There we go.
Celebrities.
The Culkmeister.
Reputation that they turn to, a life of drugs. So may the force be with you.
Oh well, thank you.
Yet this advice seemed.
Did he turn into a life of drugs?
To have no impact as
like,
his life began to.
Like hard drugs, or like the stuff we all say are drugs, but we know darn sure that it's not as bad as the stuff they give you at the pharmacy. Autocorrect. No, I feel you. I understood immediately.
Taking his medication and attacked his mother. Indianapolis police were called to the home of.
Oh, he had schizophrenia? Never stop taking your meds, my dude. Never stop taking your meds. Especially if you guys are on antidepressants. Like, listen, if you start taking your meds, you won't notice it immediately, but you need at least a cool 6 weeks for the meds to, like, circulate into your system properly. Please do not, like, you have to take your meds, like, on time.
Yelled at her saying she ruined his life. Lloyd allegedly knocked her down when she wouldn't let him in the house, and stomped her 3 or 4 times, causing bruises and abrasions. He was gone by the time the police showed up, and she didn't press charges. Only 3 months later, Jake Lloyd found himself in a high-speed police chase, after which he'd be arrested for reckless driving without a license, and resisting arrest, resulting in 10 months jail time in a psychiatric facility.
Dude tried to do the real-life pod racing. That's messed up.
Days after this, Jake's 26-year-old sister Madison died unexpectedly in her sleep.
Like, I get being angry at your parents. Don't get me wrong. Like, no one's perfect. They might have messed up, you know, to the point where you can freaking make an argument that they did bad things or whatever. But that's not a good reason to murder someone.
Prompting the mother to release a statement regarding Jake's well-being. Jake has been diagnosed.
Oh, okay. She wasn't murdered. She was assaulted. Okay.
Paranoid schizophrenia, but unfortunately he also has a symptom called anosognosia, which causes a lack of insight into his illness. This only adds to the struggle he faces, which has been very difficult after the tragic loss of his younger sister, Madison. He has moved closer to his family, and we are all working hard to help him.
Oh, that's
with
messed up. I
this.
didn't know
He is
that.
still
He
a
lost his
kind and
sister?
caring person, and we hope to have him back to his fun and entertaining self as soon as possible. Jake will continue to make progress with the love and support you continue to show, which is promising when compared to the life of Edward Furlong. After playing John Connor in The Terminator 2, Furlong began to mess with drugs, stating, "Hollywood effed me up, man. Lots of money and lots of free coke will turn anybody into a cokehead."
That's the thing. I feel like it's not even necessarily the drug. Here's the thing. It's an impossibility of life. Drug as long as drugs are illegal, there's going to be a black market trying to hook you onto it, and the black market is going to try to keep you coming back. And that's just a fact of life. Like you can't even. I feel like that's not even an argument, right? But I feel like what we forget is the fact that you're going from a individual who doesn't have the money or the time to do jack squat, and then immediately turning into a situation where you can do whatever you want and you have the money to do it. So suddenly all of your little greedy desires start to get fulfilled. And it's too easy. It's just too easy. It's like freaking Tiger Woods with like you don't think he's gonna cheat on his wife when there's like how many freaking models left and right? Like, so, like no wonder celebrities never have good marriages, dude. There's constantly people who are at the top of the sexy chain that want to sleep with you.
With this addiction resulting in his first arrest for driving under the influence without a license. Furlong attended rehab as a result of the incident and was able to stay sober for a number of years. However, by 2009, at the age of 32, he was back in the news for punching his girlfriend whilst on drugs. 3 years later, Furlong was arrested again.
P.S. You're not gonna make the argument to me that drugs made you do anything bad. That's you. Like you're not gonna be like, I did it because I was on a drug. It's like, no, you didn't. No, you did not. I've been drunk. I've been other stuff. Like you're not. That's just you.
Against his new girlfriend, resulting in
I give zero freaking and who knows, maybe someday I'll mess up big time like this too, but I give 0 points to people who are like, I was drunk. It's like, no, that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter.
Meth addiction, although this story actually has somewhat of a happy ending.
I just don't see that as like a legitimate, like, how are you drunk and not like, I don't know. I get it, right? You do wilder, crazier things because you just have certain parts of your brain restricted that normally would tell you, hey, maybe don't do that, you know? But at the same time, it's like, yeah, I've never, at least me personally, and I might just be, you might have a completely different reaction to alcohol or whatever, but I've never really drank alcohol and genuinely was just like, I had zero control over what my actions were. It's like, no. I was a lot more willing to do things I would not normally do because, you know, anxiety, things like that are out of the equation now. But in general, I kind of understood my faculties, if that's a good way to explain it.
In July 2022, Furlong announced that he had gotten his teeth fixed, was taking better care of himself, and had been sober for over 4 years.
That's amazing!
I'm happier now, man. I mean, it feels so good to at least be doing the best you can.
Although this kind of happy ending has been unavailable to Drake Bell.
Oh, that sucks. I'll be honest with you guys. Me and my older brother, it was 100% a Drake and Josh situation all the time.
His life has only gotten worse every single year since.
So I didn't really connect too much on my end with Drake. My brother did a lot more. He was definitely the more suave socialite, and I was definitely the shut-in neat like Josh.
Foreclosure on his $2 million mansion. 1 year later, in 2015,
oh goodness,
he'd be jailed for 4 days as a result of driving.
Dude, mansions are not worth it. They really aren't. Like they're just freaking. They're just money dumps.
Under the influence. However, the real drama didn't begin until mid.
Like I'll take a ginormous, like I take a 2-3 story house with a nice big yard over a mansion any day. You don't need that many rooms. And you don't need a fancy entrance. I don't understand the purpose of entrances to houses.
On TikTok, making some pretty severe accusations.
Imagine the worst type of verbal abuse you could ever imagine, and that was what I got. It then turned into physical, hitting, throwing, everything. At the pinnacle of it, he dragged me down the stairs of our house in Los Feliz. My face hit every step on the way down.
Goodness.
Bell would defend himself by stating, "I never abused my ex-girlfriend or did so many of the other things Melissa falsely claimed on her TikTok video. Unfortunately, we both called each other terrible names, as often happens when couples are breaking up, but that is it." Although this response most certainly didn't put an end to the drama, as there was even bigger trouble just around the corner. An article titled "Drake..."
Like, girl, I'm sorry, but like, oh, that's a very thin line to walk. But you need to call the police, and you just report everything. It's never gonna end, and it's never gonna stop. I don't agree with that argument of like, I was scared. It's like, if you're scared to call the people that can help, you think it's gonna stop? It's not. It's really not. I know it can be difficult. I'm not saying it's not difficult. It must be the most fear-inducing, terrifying, worst situation to be in. I can only like assume how terrible it could possibly be.
In 2017, things became even worse when footage of the trial.
But that argument always can be flipped around. Like, it's not going to get better.
First-degree misdemeanor.
Guilty.
Let the record reflect defendant has pled guilty. The court accepts that plea.
And while he would plead guilty to child endangerment, Drake Bell would then take to his Instagram to insinuate that he hadn't done anything wrong.
Don't believe the media.
Whoa, hold on. So you admit it? You pled? If you plead guilty, that's it. I don't care who you are.
And while he would plead guilty to child endangerment, Drake...
Oh, okay. That's still terrible. What? No, screw you. Child endangerment. No.
Instagram to insinuate.
That's still terrible. I don't care about anything else. The fact that he pled guilty to that, like, I don't know what the exact charges are, but no, I don't. Forget you. What?
That he hadn't done anything wrong.
You have no. It like they don't just hit you with a child endangerment, freaking for nothing. You actually have to legitimately do some pretty bad things.
If these claims were removed.
Because there's child negligence, right? Child negligence is a pretty big umbrella term. I'm speaking from a little bit of knowledge on this. I used to work as a foster, and still technically do, as a foster agent. Negligence is a pretty big umbrella term. So to get charged beyond that into endangerment can be quite I'm not saying it's gonna be a huge jump. It's not like the difference is I forgot to feed my kid and then I took a knife out on my kid. That's not like the biggest jump, but it's a very defined line, if you get what I'm saying, where if you're endangering a child, that means very specifically there is a legitimate fear here that you, of your own volition, will harm this child or bring harm to this child. Like drunk driving is a major child endangerment. That's not neglect.
True. My situation would be very different. I would not be here at home with my wife and my son.
Despite finishing by stating that he was at home with his wife, this relationship would last only one more year, as in January 2023, on top of everything that had already happened, Drake Bell announced that he was also getting a divorce. Considering he's acted in only 2 productions since 2020, it's safe to say that Drake Bell's
what the heck is the Adventures of Buddy Bravo?
reputation is pretty much finished, although he's not the only Nickelodeon actor with a spot in this video, as the life of Amanda Bynes has descended in.
Again, you give people too much power, dude.
To an even worse version of
too much power and ability to do what they want to do.
Faces throughout the 2000s, Amanda Bynes would announce her retirement from acting in 2010, stating that being an actress isn't as fun as it may seem. If I don't love something anymore, I stop doing it. I don't love acting anymore, so I've stopped doing it. I know 24 is a young age to retire, but you heard it here first. She'd go on to state that the
honestly, mad respect there. You retire as fast as you can. If you have the means to retire, I'm all in for it. I don't care.
was because I literally couldn't stand my appearance in Easy A, and I didn't like my performance.
This is Foxy. I found Roxy's phone in her garage, and Roxy's not here. All right, for sure. All right, finally, Roxanne probably went to go help Freddy find the frickin' pie. I swear to you.
Means that I needed to stop.
She was fighting me on it. Like, what are you doing? Go help him find the pie. and everything get fixed.
Acting after seeing it.
Am I right or what,
This is
Roxy?
where things began to go
Foxy, I mean, not
rapidly.
Roxy. She's gone.
In 2012, 2 years after retiring, she was charged with driving under the influence and hit and run on 2 separate occasions. 2 years after this, she'd be charged with driving under the influence again, with her court appearance displaying a significant physical decline from just 2 years prior. In the process, Amanda would take to Twitter to call Michelle and Barack Obama ugly, before stating that she and her parents were no longer speaking, which accompanied some absolutely wild accusations about her father, including the statement that he had put.
Yeah, so this, if I'm remembering correctly, this is a similar thing to the Britney Spears situation, where her entire family was really controlling and really sort of like, even if she had problems of her own accord, they really escalated a lot of her issues with their actions.
A microchip in her brain. After she'd also set fire to a driveway.
I don't know about that. I don't know if you can
hospital,
legally
after
microchip a
which
person.
her parents were given legal
Unless you're a Tesla, you know.
ownership over her $5 million estate, as Amanda has been spending large amounts of her savings. It has been reported that she's recently made extensive
That's none of your business, Pops. She can spend as much of her savings as she wants. That's not like a legitimate reason for you to say that you should have any kind of overreach, I guess would be the word,
purchases
on her life.
Jewelry stores such as Cartier for strangers.
Mr. Beast does that all the time. He buys people Teslas and stuff to absolute strangers. That's not anything unusual.
Amanda Bynes was diagnosed with bipolar disorder and would attempt to get her life back on track by enrolling in fashion school. However, she was kicked out only 10 months later for showing up high and arguing with her classmates.
I mean, that's the rockstar life. I don't see anything wrong so
In
far.
2018, people assumed that she was back to her normal self, as Amanda showed up in magazines looking like this. However, within a year, she'd gotten face tattoos and checked into Alcoholics Anonymous.
Smart woman. She said, before I start putting all this stuff on my face, this is the time to put my face on the magazine. Because after this, I'm gonna do this. See? She's planning ahead. She's intelligent.
She'd meet her new boyfriend who, according to Amanda, had just as many
Well, I found Roxy's phone and some of her parts. Oh yeah, she was working on a cart. Leave those alone. You don't want to mess things up.
problems as her. In October 2022, she'd make another attempt at fixing her life.
She looks great here.
By enrolling in cosmetic school, yet only 5 months later in March 2023, she was sent to a mental hospital once again, as she was found roaming the streets of Los Angeles without any clothes on. Then there was Orlando.
Okay, yeah, that last one is a bit indefensible. Don't do that. Don't go streaking. At the same time, I mean, the guts to go streaking, though. I mean, not the worst one, honestly. Not the worst one. She's just living that rockstar life. So, from what I'm getting.
Brown, whose role as Eddie Thomas on That's So Raven.
Oh, That's So Raven. Now I remember you. Okay.
Ended with an equally terrible life. After the show came to an end in 2007, Orlando began to focus on music, during which his life
I remember that. Oh, he did get into
was
music.
kept fairly private until he'd enter news headlines approximately 9 years
Dude,
later.
what a friggin'. I'm so sorry, my dude. I completely forgot, like, about you. Like, 100%. That music video that we just saw, the little bit where he's on the fence, brought back so many memories.
Between February and March 2016, Brown was arrested on 2 separate occasions on charges of domestic violence, obstruction of justice, drug possession with the intent to sell, and possession of contraband in jail.
The domestic violence is bad. Obstruction of justice? I wonder what that is. Drug possession with the intent to sell? What kind of drug, though? Because we're in a different world now.
In February
What kind?
2016,
Like the real drugs that the pharmacies give, or like the the trees, the all naturals.
claimed he struck his then girlfriend in the parking lot of a
That's
police
not okay.
station and was found by officers to be in possession of methamphetamine.
Also not okay. That's anything that gets into chemicals or science is just not okay.
Orlando was given a note.
Like, what are you putting that in your system for? Like, if you don't trust the vaccine or frickin', like, pharmacy meds, why would you ever trust any of that stuff? I have found Roxy's arm in the go-kart. Dude, that's dedication. She said, even if I'm gone, I'm a frickin' race till the end. Is it on the wheel? Is it on the wheel?
Notice to appear in court, yet it instead flee to Las Vegas.
'Cause that's
He
a
was
race
caught
champ
by
till the end,
bounty
bro.
hunters.
You left California. It's a felony when you flee.
I didn't flee.
What are you doing here then, brother? You got a warrant for your arrest.
After which things only
No, this is not okay. Hold on. What?
station and was found by officers to be in possession of methamphetamine. Orlando was given a notice to appear in court, yet he instead flee to Las Vegas, where he was caught by bounty hunters.
This is not okay. This is not okay for the bounty hunter to do. I disagree with this. I mean, I'm not saying what he did was wrong. Is not okay. No, 100%. If he has a warrant out for his arrest, that's one thing. If he decided to go on a trip to Vegas, I can make an argument he just forgot about it or didn't care or just ignored it and just, decided to go on a trip to Vegas. This bounty hunter should not be recording him. He's 100% recording this dude just for clout, and I hate that. I disagree with this bounty hunter. This bounty hunter is garbage, in my opinion.
You left California. It's a felony.
It's a felony. Okay, yeah, you shouldn't be recording him. This has nothing to do with your job. You're here to grab him and take him into the office. You're absolutely just recording this dude for the clout.
When you flee.
Why are you trying to put yourself on a moral high ground here, like he's freaking talking down to a kid?
What are you doing here then, brother? You got a warrant for your arrest.
After which things only became
You don't need to record this. You did that just for the clout. You did that just for the clout. There's no the guy's already in trouble. There's no reason for you to freaking put a camera in his face and do this to him.
Which is followed
That's
by his
disrespectful.
appearance on the Dr. Phil show, during which he'd state that he'd been sober.
What is happening to his eyes?
Despite clearly being under the influence on the show.
I'm 4 years sober for a reason. I just now got out of rehab. I just now got out of ER. I'm not doing no more time away from my kids other than I need to.
As a result of this episode, Orlando would return to rehab and get clean before discussing his experience on the No Jumper podcast.
Bro, look at that chain though. Oh, I don't even know what that says, but I like the links. Are those like Cuban links? Freaking love Cuban links.
Ever indulged in.
Meth?
Yes, those situations, man, they will never happen again based off of the fact that where I'm trying to go.
And while he'd end his statement by saying
Foxy says, no, it's by the go-kart.
Orlando
Oh, dude, you better go give it back to her. Now she's looking for pie and her arm.
was back in the news
You'd think she'd be able to find all this stuff with those, like, see-through wall eyes.
approximately 7 months later in December 2022 after threatening a family member with a hammer. He's currently undertaking a psychiatric assessment.
A knife and a hammer. What, were you gonna freaking vampire him? Stick the knife on it and pound it? What was that?
To see if he's eligible for pleading insanity. Yet the most tragic story of child fame.
That stinks. I mean, dude is terrible for freaking, like, trying to hurt people, 100%.
And without
It's just sad to see, you know?
Judy Garland, who played Dorothy Gale in The Wizard of Oz at the age of 16. Whilst filming the movie, she was prescribed amphetamines to keep up with the production's grueling schedule, as well as barbiturates to
Amphetamine? I mean, you basically just gave her the addiction.
help her sleep when the day was finally over.
And barbiturates. Oh, goodness. That's like some Marilyn Monroe drug, dude.
The studio also required Judy to stay incredibly thin, feeding her nothing but soup and lettuce leaves whilst on set.
What?
Which she'd explain led to a poor
Dude, lettuce just empty calories. It is not healthy.
self-image. By the time The Wizard of Oz was finished, she was being prescribed amphetamines from 4 different doctors to keep her weight down and her mood up, although this lifestyle began to catch up to her.
Yeah, she was literally just drugging up.
Drugs, getting up late, coming in late to work, and it turned into a nightmare for everybody.
Dude, these freaking pharmacies are literally just
concerned.
She'd be fired from 3 different movies for intoxication and was constantly in the news for being completely
Yeah, first we get her addicted to drugs, and then we don't hire her for being addicted to drugs.
broke. Her kids stated that the family couldn't even afford food at times, which accompanied angry slurred messages about being paid for work.
These weren't delusions. She was broke when she recorded this, and not movie star down to my last Rolls Royce broke, homeless broke. No money to buy food broke.
By the time Judy Garland was in her 40s, she looked about 15 years older, had been divorced 5 different times, and was performing in a New York bar for $100 per night. While Judy Garland maintained that she had never done anything wrong in her entire life,
The only mistake I ever did, the only harm I ever did was sing Over the Rainbow.
she would die of an overdose at the age of 47.
What does that mean? I don't get that riff. Over the Rainbow is good. I like that song.
On the exact same drug that she was prescribed during The Wizard of Oz, with her estate being worth a measly
Yeah, they basically, the freaking, either the directors, whoever was, they basically just got her hooked on a bunch of really bad drugs.
$40,000.
At 16. Goodness. That's brutal. I feel like that would had very little to be her fault. That's just messed up. Dude, Sunny V2, freaking mad respect just for, what is this? Oh, that's bizarre, but we're definitely gonna watch more scary stuff on Friday for Sally Face. That one was messed, dude. Jake Lloyd is a sad story. He was literally bullied his entire life for simply being an actor. People can be absolutely awful. Yeah, no, it sucks, especially because especially people who get famous. It's like you don't know if you can handle fame until you're already there and getting freaking bullied left and right. That sucks. For anyone wondering what happened to Julianne, yeah, it wasn't even covered. What happened there? What happened to that was clickbaited. It wasn't actually covered in the video despite her being in the thumbnail. Juliana felt she grew too old to be Stephanie, so quit the show, especially since she was 4 years older than the character to start with anyways. She then toured the UK for a while, teaching children the importance of being healthy and active. After traveling back to the US, she realized the life of lights wasn't for her, so she quit acting and went to college and university, where she'd eventually get a master's degree. She is now an occupational therapist and doing really well for herself. Good point. What you friggin' clickbaited me with the I even said at the beginning of the video, didn't I? You clickbaited me with the Lazy Town reference. Like 100%, you clickbaited me with that Lazy Town reference. I thought this was Lindsay Lohan, but apparently that's no, was it Lindsay Lohan? Amanda Bynes. I thought it was that.